Crossing that invisible boundary was the serpent's final error. To the reptile, the adversary appeared to be nothing more than a harmless house cat, quiet, motionless, and deceptively slight. But beneath that calm exterior lay the raw speed, primal intuition, and icy precision of a natural-born killer prepared to launch without a second thought. And the unforgiving mathematics of the wild mass is irrelevant. Precision is the only currency that matters. And right now, the difference between life and death will be measured in milliseconds. Felines are frequently misjudged. It makes no difference if they sleep on a sofa or hunt in the scrublands. They all possess the same predatory blueprint etched into their genetic code. Their anatomy is a masterclass in kinetic potential. Their vision locks onto the slightest disturbance with absolute clarity. When a viper slithers into their domain, terror is not the reaction. Instinct takes the wheel. The atmosphere grows heavy. Time seems to suspend itself. Both combatants stand frozen, waiting for the opponent to blink first. The serpent winds its body tight scales, rasping against the earth. Venom glands primed its strike, perfected over millions of years of evolution. This is a biological weapon, engineered for instant conflict resolution. One puncture, one slip-up, one fatality. Opposing it, the cat crouches low belly, grazing the dust tail, rigid gaze fixed. This isn't simple curiosity. It is cold strategic assessment. Every ripple of the snake's muscles is calculated. Every respiration is tracked. The feline refuses to rush. Instead, it circles, gauging the range, compelling the snake to pivot, to adjust, and to expose its vulnerabilities. Then the dam breaks, a sudden eruption of violence. The snake lashes out in a blur of fangs and fury, but the jaws snap shut on nothing but air. In that same fraction of a second, the cat sidesteps with blinding agility, a whirlwind of fur and claws. A razor-sharp paw hammers down on the reptile's skull, not once, but in a rapid-fire barrage, moving too fast to be countered. This is not a chaotic brawl. This is a disciplined counterattack sharpened by generations of survival. Every missed lunge saps the viper's stamina. Every connecting slap wrests control away. The cat remains mute, fixated, and unyielding. There is no extraneous motion. No fear, just pressure, just total command. In the law of the jungle, hesitation is a death sentence. And incompetence is fatal. Seconds later, the tide has turned completely. The creature that arrived as a lethal threat is now scrambling to survive. The cat holds its ground, vigilance undimmed, demonstrating a harsh reality of nature. The ultimate weapon is not toxicity, but velocity, perception, and an unshakable trust in one's own reflexes. If you are captivated by the mechanics of these raw confrontations and want to understand how the underdog often reigns supreme, hit that like button, smash, subscribe, and lock in as the intensity is about to skyrocket. The initial skirmish is rarely the conclusion. It is merely the opening act of a deadly ritual played out in back gardens, dense thickets, open meadows, and the quiet shadows of urbanization where the wild still dictates the terms. Once a feline identifies a venomous intruder, backing down ceases to be an alternative. This transcends self-defense. This is about establishing dominance. Change the setting and the stakes evolve. Tall grass rustles barely perceptible to the human ear. Beneath the green, a viper lies in ambush, relying on stealth and patience to secure a kill. But game recognizes game. A prowling cat freezes mid-stride. The ears swivel like radar dishes. The eyes slit. Something is amiss. The earth transmits a warning through subtle tremors, and the signal is unmistakable. Abandoning caution, the cat initiates hostilities. A hooked claw snags the serpent, dragging it from cover before it can weaponize its venom. The snake responds with lightning speed, rearing back, coiling tight fangs bared in a desperate bid to reclaim the upper hand. But the element of surprise is lost. Visibility benefits the swift, and the cat is the fastest thing here. The feline constantly alters its vector, never striking from the same angle twice. It baits a lunge, withdraws, and then counters before the snake can recoil. Each maneuver compels the reptile to burn precious energy, to pivot, to defend, rather than hunt. This is how stamina is weaponized. This is how relentless pressure dismantles even the deadliest assassins. Confine the battle to a tight space, and the danger amplifies. With no exit strategy, the encounter becomes volatile. The snake strikes out of pure desperation. The cat responds with surgical accuracy. Forelimbs hammer the serpent's head, repeatedly ruining its aim and denying it a window to strike. The reptile hisses, winds up, and snaps forward, but every effort meets the void or a punishing slap in return. What looks like recklessness is actually calculated risk. Cats instinctively target the control centers: the skull, the rhythm, the recovery time after a miss. These are the pivot points of the fight. The snake begins to lag. The reflexes slow down. The equilibrium of power shifts permanently. Finally, the aggressor collapses into inaction or attempts to flee. The cat does not gloat. It does not pursue without cause. It halts at the perimeter of its domain, posture erect, broadcasting a silent decree to any observer: this territory is occupied. Such events serve as a stark reminder that staying alive isn't about physical strength. It requires heightened senses, endurance, and the audacity to execute when the window opens. If these real-world survival duels fascinate you, and you want to see instinct triumph over venom, repeatedly blast that like button, drop your insights in the comments, and subscribe to catch the next installment, where the peril reaches new heights. As we witness more of these clashes, a singular truth emerges. These are not random accidents. They are trials of ownership, intuition, and grit. And when the motivation shifts beyond mere self-preservation, the dynamic changes entirely, particularly when a feline is fighting for something greater than itself. In a tranquil suburban backyard, peril materializes from nowhere. A poisonous snake glides through the shade, ignorant that it has breached a sanctuary. A few feet away, a mother cat detects the intrusion instantly. Her stance transforms. She positions herself as a living shield between the danger and her vulnerable offspring. The hunt is over. This is now a war of defense. The snake feels the hostility and coils into a defensive spring, loading a strike designed to end the dispute instantly. But the maternal drive suppresses all fear. She blitzes forward, forcing the reptile to engage prematurely. Every second she disrupts its timing is a victory. Every forced adjustment erodes its dominance. The melee is chaotic and violent. The snake snaps out. The cat parries with rapid-fire swipes aimed directly at the hazard. She shows no indecision, no backing down. Every blow destroys the snake's equilibrium, preventing it from lining up a lethal injection. The cat takes no direct hits. She is a phantom in motion. The pressure is suffocating. Shift the scene again. Indoors. Narrow corridors. No easy way out. A snake finds itself cornered in a place where its venom is worthless without a clear shot. The cat recognizes the tactical advantage immediately. It steps in just enough to trigger a reaction, then vanishes sideways. The retaliation is instant, faster, harder, and unrelenting. What defines these interactions is not rage, but discipline. The cat dictates the range. The cat determines the tempo and the conclusion. The snake, once arrogant in its lethality, is reduced to flinching and retreating. In the wild, being reactive is a fatal flaw. When the intruder finally crumples or escapes, the cat stays on high alert long after the threat has evaporated. Eyes sweeping the area, muscles taut. Instinct doesn't sleep just because the noise has stopped. Survival requires absolute certainty. These battles stand as testament that authority in the animal kingdom is seized through perception, agility, and an iron will to defend one's home. If these high-stakes survival moments have your heart racing, support our work by liking the video, sharing it with other nature enthusiasts, and subscribing so you don't miss a beat as the danger levels rise. Total destruction isn't always the goal. Sometimes the objective is to send a message. In open country, where sightlines are long and escape is viable, the fight becomes a mental chess match. A viper moves forward, tentatively testing the waters. Opposite it, the cat remains statuesque, balanced eyes locked, refusing to yield an inch. Silence is the weapon here. The snake strikes to warn rather than kill. The cat responds without chasing, without hysteria. A single, crisp swat timed to perfection lands just close enough to remind the reptile of its mortality. The cat doesn't need to end the life. The hierarchy has already been established. As the snake withdraws, sliding back into the undergrowth, the cat follows just enough to underscore the warning, then halts. Borders aren't maintained by endless chases, but by conviction. The edict is clear and absolute. Stay out. These vignettes unveil a deeper level of existence. Intellect, self-control, assurance. Winning isn't always about annihilation. Sometimes simply standing your ground is enough. If you find yourself captivated by these primal displays where raw reflex battles against cunning strategy in the deep bush, do not forget to hit that like button, smash, subscribe, and keep watching for the absolute final showdown where every single tension-filled second culminates in one decisive heart-stopping finale. Once the dirt clouds clear and the lethal tension dissipates, the silent law remains etched into the terrain. You see, these violent clashes were never born from malice or random disorder. They are the ancient scales of nature, seeking perfect equilibrium. Out here in the unforgiving wilderness, survival is not a right, it is earned by beasts that know exactly how far to push their boundaries while fiercely protecting their staked claim on the earth. The feline retreats with an eerie coolness, moving not with the swagger of a conqueror but with the assurance of a professional. The danger was assessed, the strike was countered, and the problem was neutralized. Primal reflexes took the wheel. In the end, blistering agility, hyper-awareness, and disciplined control outclassed the raw power of deadly neurotoxins. That is precisely how these high-stakes gambles for life conclude, not with a dramatic roar, but with the heavy settling silence of the aftermath. The wild does not believe in heroes or villains. It simply grants another day of breath to those who execute with surgical precision when the clock is ticking down. It is in these split seconds that a pint-sized hunter can stare down a lethal serpent and walk away the victor. If witnessing this intense gauntlet of real-world survival gave you a new perspective on the tactical brilliance hidden within the animal kingdom, please support our work by dropping a like, sharing your theories in the comments, subscribing for more adrenaline-fueled sagas where split-second reactions determine who lives and who dies. Keep your curiosity sharp, respect the wild, and catch us in the next episode.